This is Karen Ranzi of feelfabulouswithfood.com and superhealthychildren.com. I want to talk about my history and what brought me to vegan and raw vegan foods and lifestyle. It started many years ago when my grandmother in 1921 was sick with asthma and emphysema in 1921. The doctors gave her whatever medications they had at that time, and she got much worse. And they told her there was nothing else they could do for her, and that her emphysema was so serious that she could die in several months. Around that time, just a little bit earlier in 1918, a little book came out that somebody brought to my grandmother in the hospital. And that book was all about healing with plant foods. And my grandmother said, I don't have anything to lose. Let me try this. For my grandmother, she was extremely motivated. A lot of people, even when they are ill, they are not willing to change their diet and their lifestyle. As Margaret Mead says, it's easier to change your religion than to change your diet. And I think that rings true for many people. But my grandmother was a single mom, and my father was only 4 years old. So she had an extra motivation to heal because she was very concerned about what would happen to my father. So my grandmother decided to try this plant lifestyle, this plant way of eating, and she switched to a whole foods vegan diet even before the word vegan ever existed. My grandmother ended up living another almost 50 years to the surprise of her doctors. In fact, she way outlived her doctors. My mother did not believe that we could grow up as children without animal protein. Even though my father and my grandmother were always healthy and they never went to medical doctors and they had glowing skin and they were just free of drugs and they ate very simply. They ate a whole foods plant diet with a little bit of steamed vegetables in the evening. So their diet was mostly even raw. And I grew up with this, but my mother believed that we needed animal protein. So I grew up on a mainstream diet with a lot of animal protein. And it wasn't until later on, when I was 17, that I realized that I loved the way that my father and my grandmother treated animals. They brought every insect outside in a tissue. So they had this ahimsa, this sacred love of all creatures. And I thought that was beautiful. So I became an ethical vegetarian. But I did not realize the harm of eating dairy, not only the cruelty to animals, but also to myself and how harmful it was for my health. In my adolescent years, I started getting severe cystic acne, which lasted between 25 and 30 years. It was all over my face and my back. And the dermatologist I went to said that it had nothing to do with what I was eating, that it was all genetic. I also had premenstrual syndrome. I had digestive issues, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. I was not a healthy adolescent and teenager, and I was not a healthy adult. And it wasn't until much later that when I was having my children, that I realized I wanted to be healthy and I wanted my kids to be healthy. I also knew that I might have to give up dairy because dairy, I had started researching and found out that it's the main culprit for many diseases, including autoimmune conditions like cystic acne. Could that dairy, the cheddar cheese that I was eating that I loved so much, could that be affecting my skin? Well, I took out all the dairy and I went vegan in 1989, and my skin completely healed in 3 months. And the scarring healed when I went raw vegan in 1994. In 1998, I started health coaching. And I have been health coaching now for 22 years, since 1998. And I have seen so many dramatic healing stories that it continues to motivate me to do health coaching in the vegan niche. This Thursday, I am hosting a free masterclass on how to become a health coach in the vegan niche. If this is your passion, you love vegan and raw food, then you will want to join me this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can register by looking at the description below. There is a link to register on Zoom. We will be live together on Zoom, and I will be showing you everything that I did through the years on my health journey. And then I'll be showing you how I became a successful and highly qualified vegan health coach. So I hope that you'll come along with me for the ride. Please look in the description below and sign up for my free masterclass this Thursday at 8 p.m. How to become a successful health coach in the vegan niche without going back to school. Please subscribe here, comment, and like. And also, please follow me on Instagram at Super Healthy Raw. And I look forward to seeing you on Thursday.